So we're going to stay on this slide, but you're going to need to reference your notes for problems 1 and 2. What we're dealing with here is a classic cell phone situation. When you have a cellular telephone, you can also have this thing called data. That's how you access things like the Tic Tacs and the Face Talks, okay? And so navigation, lots of things, okay? That uses data, which is separate from call and text. So right here we have option A for this college student. Both options we have a baseline of 2 gig, okay? Now allowance of 2 gig. Option A of X, so input X is gigs over 2 gigs. It costs how much money for option A? 60, okay? Option B, it depends. So help me out with words. Option A, what's the price no matter what? $60. Okay? Option A is always $60. Doesn't matter how many gig. Okay? What about option B? How could we explain option B?
$10 per gig plus a $25 sign-on.
10 per gig over 2, right? And $25 fee monthly. It's like a monthly fee that must be, right?
So what do you mean by over? Oh, you just divided every month?
No. It says right here,
It has to be over 2. Oh.
both plans include an allowance of 2 gig. Okay. So this plan must be, I read that as X is the number of gigs over 2 gigs. Okay? So for number 1 and 2 on your notes, which we cannot see on this page, but I don't want to go back and forth between slides, you're asked to find the values of A of 1 and B of 1. And for number 2, you're asked to find what it is for A of 7.5 and B of 7.5 and compare. You will then see problem number 3. We already did, actually, right here. That's number 3. And number 4, you're going to graph. Your graph is on the back of your notes. I'm going to give you some time with your partner. Okay, someone help me out. Input of 1 for A. Micah.
60.
Yeah, A of 1 is $60. What about A of 7.5? Yeah, Julia? For function A? I'm jumping around. Yeah, that one's $60. Okay, let's go plan B for 1 gig over the 2. How much does that cost, Grant?
35.
How'd you get that?
I multiplied 1 by 10 and then I added 25.
Yeah, put 1 in for X and put 1. Okay. And then for 7.5 gigs on B, Willa. $100. So looking at, like, if we're trying to save money, if we're looking at 1 gig over, which one should we choose? Yeah, man, you're hitting up that Wi-Fi, you know? Okay? If you're going to go through all this data, which one are you choosing? A. I like having unlimited. It just feels good. But let's graph these. So A, no matter what, 60. Everybody go with line A there?
Yeah.
For B, I'm starting at 25, and I'm going up by how much each time? 10, 10, 10.
I got it right. Sorry.
Oh, I could do that better. I think. There we go. Okay, so here's my 2 graphs.
Straight line?
Yeah, these are linear functions, right? They have a slope and y-intercept. What's the slope of A? 0. What's the y-intercept of A?
60.
Okay, what's the slope of B?
10.
10. What's the y-intercept of B? 25. They're both linear functions. All right? So without flipping back and forth, let's jump to number 5 in your notes, Bob. Number 5 in your notes says, we have a $50 budget. Raise your hand if you still need to do number 5, by the way. So let's just, a $50 budget, how many gigs can we get? Well, is $50 an input or an output? Is it independent or dependent?
Dependent.
It's dependent. So to figure this out, I need to put 50 in for, what does it say? Option B. So that means B of X equals 50, correct? Would you guys agree with that statement? So B of X is 50. That means $50 equals 10x plus 25. 50 is the output. All right. And to figure out how many gigs that is, subtract 25. If 25 is 10x, what does x have to equal? 2.5 gigs. So you'd have to interpret this one of two ways, right? That could be 2.5 gigs over. How many gigs are allotted? 2. So this could give you how many gig total? 4.5 gig total. Okay. Or 2.5 extra. Yep. All right. That's all the cell phone stuff. We're going to stay on that cell phone train for what's next. I do not believe this is on your notes that I printed because there's no graph with it. Okay. So, this is the second plan, cell phone plan. You can do this at that little bottom area of your notes. I think you can fit it in, or you can put it in your math notebook. I want you to find the value of each one of these expressions. So these expressions all are in context of cell phone plan, the second one right here, okay? So you're going to find, what are these all going to be, the inputs? X, also known in context as? The gigs, right? And these are all going to be X or Y. Which one? Y. And in context, these are all?
How much money?
Price. Okay, so I want you to find these 6 situations for me. Okay, so if I put in 6 gigs, how much money is that? $85. If I'm getting 2.75 gig, how much money?
52.5.
52.50. If I'm going to get a very exact 1.482 gig, how much money?
39.82.
All right, so I'm putting all these in for X. I'm getting the output, the function coming out, right? This is going to be a little different down here. I don't know what's going in. I don't know the gigs. I know the money. So if I spend $93, how many gigs can I get?
6.8.
So one way I like to write this is like this. Or you could write X is 6.8, either way. So I can get 6.8 gig for $93. How many gig can I get for $42.10? 1.71 gig. Okay, and how many gig can I get for $116.25? 19 point what? Okay, let's just do this one. 116.25 equals 10x plus 25. Let's subtract 25.
It's 9.125. 9.125.
I got 116.25. Just doing this in my head real quick.
You're doing that.
Yeah, subtract, carry the 4. 91.25. So x is 9. Ooh. Look what I just did there. 9 and an eighth, but it is 9.125. You guys, so here's the big idea that you need to make sure you've got down, Asher and Bob. You need to make sure. We know that these are inputs and that these are outputs and how to use them the right spot at the right time. Do you guys remember that cool down from the other day? It said something like, I don't remember, like T of X equals 4, and some of you input 4. But is this saying input 4? No, that's saying output 4. This is a Y value, not an X value, right? We don't know what the input is. So just be mindful of that, all right? Here's your lesson summary. Let's get after it. At your assigned seats, please.
Wait, there's no assignment?
There is.